Hey, medical detectives, here are your virtual instructions for your at-home week, your virtual week, which is February 8th through the 11th. So we do not have school on Friday. So if we take a look at what we're working on, we wrote in our agenda on Friday. The very first thing that you'll be working on is typing.com. So make sure you get the 30 minutes of typing.com done by Thursday, the 11th at noon. So that's Thursday at noon. And then the next thing you're going to be working on is you're going to be working on 1.2, Exploring What's Vital. This is an experiment that you are going to be doing on your family members. So when I click on 1.2, Exploring What's Vital, add this to my Google Drive. Make sure you add your first and last name to the beginning of it, and you put it in your medical detectives folder. Okay, so we add our initials or our first and last name. Then make sure you put it in your, I keep saying the wrong folder, put in your medical detectives folder. All right. And so what you're going to be doing in this assignment is you're going to want to read through it, and you're going to be coming up with an experiment that you can conduct on a family member. And we are trying to affect the respiratory rate, so the breathing rate or the heart rate of your experimentee. All right. So read through the different parts of an experiment. You need to be able to tell the difference between an independent variable and a dependent variable. The dependent variable is the thing that depends on the item that we're changing. Okay, so if we are changing the heart rate, the thing that would depend on that. So maybe my experiment is I'm going to have my person listen to like soft, calming music for a minute, and then I'm going to take their heart rate. So I believe that my research question would be something like, does listening to calming music lower your heart rate? And then my hypothesis would be I would choose yes or no to that question. So my research question was, does listening to music affect your heart rate? And then my hypothesis is if someone listens to calming music for a minute, then their heart rate will be lowered, or you could say their heart rate would go higher. Okay, so that is your choice in your experiment. So you read through this paragraph, identify your problem, answer questions 2 and 3. Then you're going to identify your independent variable and your dependent variable. So my dependent variable here would be the thing that depends on my experiment. Okay, so what's being affected? It would be the heart rate that depends on that. Okay, and then we're going to go through our design. So we're going to test our hypothesis. You need to consider, are there any things in your experiment that might cause a safety concern for your client, or your person you're experimenting on? Like if the music's too loud, could it hurt their ears? So you need to make sure that you turn it down. If you're trying to raise their heart rate, is the activity something that's safe for a person of their age to do? So make sure you write down any concerns that you have, and then you're moving on to your observations. So what are 3 observations that you saw during your experiment? So you actually have to complete your experiment before you can do this, number 7. And then also number 8, technically these should be reversed because you need this graph first. When you do this, you're going to open this graph and make a copy of it. Please make sure it goes into your medical detectives folder. And you're going to have, you're going to test their heart rate or the respiratory rate before they do your activity and after they do their activity. And we know when we do trials, we need to do them multiple times. So if I'm going to be having them listen to music and I'm testing heart rate, okay, this is already listed here. I'm going to take my mom's heart rate 3 times before I have her do the activity. And then I'm going to have her do the activity and take her heart rate 3 times after that. And so when I type in here, okay, the graph will update. Okay, and you can change this to respiratory rate if you're deciding to do their breath instead of their heart rate. And then when you're done, so you've done the no activity, the resting activity, you're going to take a screenshot. And if you're using your Chromebook, you're going to make sure that you edit your screenshot or hold down the key that allows you to select the part of your screen. And so you're going to just take a picture of your graph and the data. So this is all that you should have. I'm going to copy my picture, and it goes right here in this box. Okay, and then you'll answer the rest of the questions, and then you'll submit this. And then the last thing that you'll work on is Brain Pop. If you have any questions, don't forget to email me.